we had now a strong European perspective on the topic, and we'll be switching now to, I don't know, to Raza Abbas, if I can say that you have a more southern perspective on the same topic, as you, Raza, have been also trained in the US. So you know both perspectives. Actually, you are a you have received outstanding career practitioner awards from the US Career Development Association, as well as from other more regional associations. When I look into your LinkedIn account, I really had to be picky here, because it seems that you make you follow the career counselor's advice of following your bliss, and have several topics, like you work in parental career guidance, you work in capacity development programs for counselors and teachers, and you are presenting very often on well-renowned global forums, and on career guidance, of course, and you have your profile in the World Book of Hope. So let's see what you are going to share today from maybe a Southern perspective, but a good understanding of the Western perspective as well. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. If I can share my slide very quickly, just give me 1 second.
Yes, maybe also, I think, Sabine, yeah, here it is. Okay, here we go.
Is it okay? I have it in my PowerPoint.
Are you seeing it?
Thank you very much for the kind introduction. It's indeed an honor and a privilege to address distinguished colleagues and practitioners from the INBAS Summerschool. Since the time is very limited, I wanted to share what is happening in Pakistan and share the southern perspective. In Pakistan and in the south, we have a lot of young people, which is great for our field of guidance and counseling. So our majority of our work is with the younger generation. As per various international studies, in Pakistan currently there are 60% people that are young. We have a population bonus of young people in this country for the first time in its 70 years of history. So that is the positive, but the challenge is that they need direction, right? So direction is no longer should be, must be. It is now a need. Career direction is a need to address the talented youth of this country, of the South. And I was, as Misha mentioned in the introduction, I was very fortunate to go to the US for my higher education, and that brings in a wonderful opportunity to integrate the West and the East. I was fortunate to learn best career practices at the University of Arizona, and when I came back to Pakistan, I felt that, you know, career counseling, when you talk about career counseling in the South, in Asia, often there's this notion of this is more of a Western concept, which I always have a very interesting dialogue with it. So I said, you know, let's look at the positive. What is the positive? The positive is we need to draw upon the Western theory and then customize it as per our need. And what I did was to make it much more appealing to our audience is to have the parental career guidance, and that was their need. So here you take a Western concept of counseling. If you look at the history of counseling and career counseling and career guidance, it has a rich history of systems, of frameworks that are derived from the West. However, we in this part of the world, we don't have that significant of literature review to draw upon. So what can we do to start the process? We start the process on what they want to listen first, and that is parental career guidance. And the way we do this is we have a very enlightened evidence-based questionnaire in which we share that with the parents of grades 8 to 12 on how do you go about giving advice to your loved ones, to your son and your daughter. And there are some various interesting observations that come out from that questionnaire that is based on evidence. And then we focus on traditional careers. That's what their mindset is used to. In the last 70 years, they often talk about 2 or 3 or 4 careers maximum. But our point as a career practitioner is to orient them to unlearn about new futuristic careers, and that's where an engaging dialogue appears. And that is something that they were not aware of. So we know one of the key things from a parental point of view in South Asia, there are 3 things what a parent's mindset is. I want to make sure that my son or my daughter gets gainful employment. The amount of money that I'm investing in his or her university is recognized. And the third one is, I want my son or my daughter to be happy, right? So we need to make sure that we give them that trust and we bridge that dialogue, we integrate that through their wisdom that they have been conditioned to, and then to give them that welcoming in that safe space to open up their narrow thinking to new enlightened thinking. That this is something that we want for your respective family, for your respective son and daughter to go with the career calling. And that's my second thing that I want to talk about is, career calling is something when we were having discussions earlier last week. Calling is something that is something coming from an Islamic country. So people are various, they want to do career calling, but they do not know how to go about doing it. So developing programs, developing capacity developing programs that are catered towards career calling, that automatically leads to high motivation from the youth and leads high engagement to the parents. So that's a win-win. So calling is something that, I wish I could have done that, but I do not know the process. So what we did was we did a very effective research with 4 stakeholders. Number 1, parents. Number 2, employers. Number 3, educators. And number 4, students. Then what are the gaps that make people engage at the workforce? At the end of the day, we want that our people that we are developing over the years, they are engaged and they are happy with their lives. And I'll just mention very quickly, what is the average time of span that people spend in their careers in this part of the world? We usually retire at the age of 60. That is the age of retirement in Pakistan and in Asia. I mean, you can work till as long as you are healthy, but on an average, it's 60 years. And usually at the age of 22, that's when you get your first degree. So 38 years of your life is ingrained in your career. So if you are not passionate about your career calling, you are just going through the motions of your career, quote unquote. So we want to make sure, and this was presented at the UNESCO inaugural conference in 2014 when I was fortunate to present Pakistan in 2014. It's very, very important to bridge that, to share this with teachers, A, share this with the civil society, B, share this with the community at large, and last but not the least, with prospective and emerging counselors. And we were very fortunate to share that in these last 14 years, these initiatives has created impact on not just one specific area, but schools, colleges, universities, NGOs. So you can see that people are hungry for change. There's an appetite for career. But what we need in this part of the country, in this part of the world, is legislative policy. We need this, like when you look at European countries, when you look at Scandinavian countries, and when you look at South Korea, there's a Career Education Act. So in order to have a transformational change in this part of the world, where there are young people, where there is an appetite, and where there have been initiatives that have been done to have this much more sustainable, we need to ensure that we have a career counseling day by the United Nations. That's another COP that I'm working on, the communities of practice, that we can have various international days, the Labor Day, the Children's Day. Why not a career counseling and guidance day that is promoting livelihood? And that is very important. I mean, we do great work, right? And it is that is a communities of practice that I'm actually working on with my global colleagues. And last but not the least, all of these interventions in South Asia are contributing towards job creation, employability, harmony, and well-being. And I would like to share that, I was fortunate to initiate career reforms at a time in Pakistan where there was a lot of turmoil. And this led to inclusion, and this led to global harmony and peace. So this is a major bridge builder, not just in the region, but in the world. And last but not the least, we are in very chaotic times. People are going through a lot of stress. The pandemic is here, believe it or not, and we need hope. It is imperative that we as caregivers, we as people of this profession, we need to give people hope. And I was very fortunate to work with an international authority on hope, on Dr. Anthony Scioli. And we developed hope capacity development programs for the careers community and for the teachers at large. Thank you for your time.
Wow, that was a great speech, Raza.
Thank you a lot. You got applause.
Thank you.
Yeah, but you may already stay on the stage because I think, Sabine, we are moving to the final part.
Yeah,